but I do run this thing suppressed every now and then. So.
Says we're live.
Well, as long as it says that, then I guess I'll believe that. Even though all evidence is to the contrary.
Trust the Google.
You're funny.
That's literally the opposite of what this show is
What we
about.
should do
Today. Welcome to... There we go. Now I got proof. I trust Google.
God damn it, I misspelled the title.
Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so does Face. I mean, there's an E in argument, just not where you want to put it. Welcome to this is the thing I do. Hi, I'm Jason. How's it going? Sean, how's it going?
It's going. We're back.
Big Red, you want to set that thing down and talk to us?
No, not really.
We're back. You weren't gone last week. You just didn't do a shit.
I didn't say anything. Sean did.
Last week?
No, nothing got done last week. You weren't here.
I was here in spirit.
No, and ended up me and Garrett chatted for about an hour, and that was about it. But we didn't even stream it.
Lame.
Because it was gay. Hello, erotic.
I had a clusterfuck of a stream, and I still left it on the channel and aired it. J. Fry's poorly reviewed books, #1, volume 1.
My masterpiece.
Mm-hmm. It was really eclectic with the strong and potent use of silence. And every 7 minutes, a fat guy came in and screamed, "God damn it! I got kicked off again."
Pretty sure that somebody's using that as an example of what not to do on a live stream.
They keep going back to it. That's why it keeps getting views. Like they think, poets using it in a song, like a Dido's song with the thunder in it. Just keeps my rage bitching. Steven says Obama was truly the affirmative action president. He was. Obama likes to talk about how hard his life was. You don't know what it's like to be black in America, and my racism's holding me down. He had every door open to him his entire life. Mm-hmm. His single mother traveled the world going from communist country to communist country and raising this little bastard. And when he gets back to the country, he goes to Harvard. He then becomes president of the Harvard Law Review, doesn't review a single law. Then ends up in he actually worked for a couple years while doing politics on the side. Loses his license. They give him the opportunity, instead of literally arresting him and sending him to jail, he's given the opportunity to forfeit his license, as is Michelle Obama, as is both the Clintons. So they forfeit their license, so that he's let off on that as well. Given the Congress seat in Illinois, and then out of nowhere, his first term as a congressperson,
senator.
Yeah. His first term as senator becomes president. Why did he become president? Because the other choices were Hillary Clinton or fucking Biden.
This is true.
Which
he was the least he was the least offensive of the choices.
Yeah. It's absolutely absurd. Like, the Cambridge Police acted stupidly. Like, no, that was just policing.
Well, both.
I've seen terrible police choices.
I was going to say both can be true at the same time.
Yeah. This was not one of those cases, but yeah, He had every door, every opportunity ever granted to him.
I don't disagree.
And every step along the way, he picked blackness. Half white, half black, married a black woman. Half black, half white.
Well, is she a woman?
Married a black. Adopted black babies. But yeah, every opportunity. Now, that's not to say George Bush didn't have every opportunity granted to him, but his daddy was a vice president before becoming a president himself. Before that, he was a governor.
And before that, he was head of the CIA.
CIA, yeah. Before that, he was head of CIA. Yeah, there's been a connection to the CIA under the Reagan administration, the Bush administration, the Clinton administration, the Bush Jr. administration because of Daddy, up until Trump. And this is the reason there's so much shit going on with Trump.
Yeah, most people today don't remember how pissed off George Sr. was when Reagan got the nomination instead of him.
Oh, I saw newsreels.
He was pissed. But he realized that he had to suck it up, tame his pride, and for the machine, offer himself as the sacrificial vice president. I'm honestly surprised that that Reagan survived those couple of assassination attempts.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know about the sacrificial VP, because back in the 80s, you still needed to get Texas. And Bush got him Texas.
Yeah, okay. I don't know how the guy from Kennebunkport, Maine gets you Texas, but okay.
He had a vested oil interests in Texas at the time.
Well, there was that, but yeah, I guess so. I mean, and that's when oil... No, because by that time, oil had taken a hit. Well, maybe not quite. No, because that was 78, 79 into 80. So oil hadn't quite taken the hit yet. It took it in like 80, 81. I remember that because I lived in Houston at the time, and I had some friends of the family that were into oil, and they were not doing well.
Kennebunkport. Fuck these people, man. Just fuck them. I barely paid attention to the 08 down primaries. I just remember Hillary got schlonged. Yeah, that pissed me off so bad. For those of you who do remember, there was a time when Biden, Hillary, and Obama all went to different parts of like hospitals and saw what they were doing because they were pushing for the universal health care, the single payer system before they ended up getting what eventually became Obamacare, which was bullshit. And Hillary followed around a nurse for a day, which wouldn't be such a big deal, but she followed the nurse because she found it interesting and wanted to learn what she did in a day. Bitch, you were in charge of universal health care under the Clinton administration. That's what he put you in charge of. And you don't know what a nurse does in a day? Like, that was your baby. Like, no child left behind.
You are applying logic and reasoning to the Clintons. That is your first mistake.
Yeah. It's like, bitch.
Hey, Josh, why are you here twice?
I don't know. It said the call experienced an error and it disconnected. So I signed back in, and lo and behold.
Oh,
interesting.
Kick both of them just to be safe.
If you want, I can just hang up and get back in.
No, that's okay.
I'll just do that real quick. Hold on.
It's not going to help, the other one.
Right, the other one's just going to hang out there. He'll figure that out when he comes back. No, there it goes.
Back. Fucking three of them are now here. Like, sorry, you can't join the call. You can't join the call. There's Sean on the call. There's me on the call, and there's 6 fucking big red doggies.
I don't believe you.
I got that clusterfuck we had like a month back with Matt and Blonde and
I remember that.
Yeah, Garrick had 2 on. He was on 2 different accounts, and I'm like, dude, I can't get in here. Like, drop one of them. I don't care to see your fucking Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
The best part was is
Yeah.
I screwed up that stream and it never got on camera.
Aww.
He wasn't wearing a Hawaiian shirt anyway. He was in full battle gear.
I was in a Hawaiian shirt and battle gear.
You were, yes, but not Garrick. You, I think I got on camera. I don't think I got Garrick in his full regalia.
Regalia. Yeah. How confident are y'all that Miss Lindsey Graham Misty will not protect rhinos and Dems in the current bummer case?
Who's in the chat right now? Is it just Steven?
So far.
Apparently. Well, what are you talking about, Steve? Because Lindsey Graham is also the name of the Oregon barber. So are you talking about her, or are you talking about shaking my tie, not giving a shit about the Kavanaugh rape allegations?
Well,
Lindsey Graham?
here's the thing with Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham is part of the old McCainite cabal. And though while he found his sack post McCain's death, he is also neck deep in the swamp. He's probably he's probably compromised 3 ways to Tuesday and doesn't want it to come out.
Yeah, but with Lieberman gone and McCain dead, I feel like he's had a little bit more latitude to be better. But 2016 Rand Paul sucked. I had huge issues with him, and 2017 wasn't much better. And then once he got his ass kicked and came back from it, he was somebody I could agree with again. But for like a year, like, what is wrong with you, Rand?
Well, I think he got sucked into the get along, Republican methodology.
Yeah, but he was still calling Trump a racist for tweets that weren't racist. Like,
yeah, he was pandering to what he thought was the most people, because libertarian or not, no matter what his ideals are, he's still got an R next to his name, and he's still got to play the goddamn political game.
No one likes libertarians.
I like libertarians.
No one good likes libertarians.
Are you saying I'm not good?
No, buddy.
I think that's exactly what you're saying.
That might be what it is. I don't know. But I'm here with a libertarian and a goddamn fence center, so what do I know?
I prefer to call myself a realist.
Oh, I got some names to call you.
Yeah, let them loose.
What? I haven't seen too much from Graham that's giving me issue these days, but I haven't actually seen anything from Graham in a couple of months. No, I do think it's funny that they were shitting on Rand Paul when he was talking about COVID-19 for somebody with like a medical degree.
Yeah, that was just.
He has one of those.
Yeah, he is a doctor.
His dad was a doctor too.
The problem with Graham is that he's gone back to pussyfooting instead of being the rabid dog that we all
Golden
needed.
Graham.
Yeah, like back when Kavanaugh was happening, we need more of that. Problem is if he's going to do that, he's going to come out the exact same way, and that's not going to please the people about Biden, because he wants to give Biden the fair shake. Which I agree, we got to give Biden the fair shake, but there is evidence that needs to be looked at.
Yeah, fully investigate the claims. I want all claims investigated. Under Kavanaugh, when this shit was happening, I want that investigated. Of course.
How many background checks did Kavanaugh go through? 3?
Dude, so many.
Right. How many has Biden gone through?
That also very many.
Has he?
Yeah. To be a VP pick, you do get background checked. But it's by the campaign, not by the FBI.
Right. How many FBI background checks has he been vetted through?
Oh, let's see. Well, he was he in Delaware. He ran, and then he was so he's a senator, and then he was none.
Yeah, exactly. And this guy has had top secret security clearances, which is even weirder.
Well, you get it with the job. He's an elected official.
You don't necessarily get it with the job. You still have to they still have to do a background check. I mean, yes, the job would describe that you need that, but they still have to do the preliminary. Well, we need to make sure he's not going to immediately sell these to Putin. Like, I'm sure, I am positive Trump went through a background check.
Yeah, he did under the Obama administration. That's why we're here today.
Fair point.
You know what really gets me? Pissgate. No, I'm just kidding. One of the things I actually want to talk about today is which is this is my transition. It is Obamagate, but it's more than just Obamagate. I wanted to talk about the last couple of presidential terms in regards to how much they're showing, how much the government is showing they literally hate you. And we have evidence of that at every level of government. Whether it's a governor like Gretchen Whitmer who's saying, stay in your home, but in case you wanted to be nice and paint a room in your house because you're sick of the color, yeah, you can't do that because I don't believe that's necessary. You already went out. You already exposed yourself at the Walmart, which in some cases people are actually exposing themselves at the Walmart. I've seen you people of Walmart.
I was going to say, of all places that have to remain open, Walmart? That is the most likely place to catch the coof.
In fact, it's rated number 1 on everything. Oh, I got the gun at Hippocerfilades. Well, I probably got that at Walmart.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, Stephen, because you're gay? The answer is very. She's very cute.
What?
What are we talking about?
Steven says, how cute is the new press secretary? Like, she's very cute, Steve.
I would say she's more than cute.
They were trying to shame her with bikini pictures.
If Sean was a dog, he'd be burying a bone.
Like, this chick had rippling abs and looked amazing. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I can see why you hate her. really upsetting showing her, like, look at her gorgeous fucking figure. That's disgusting.
Let's just say this is an upgrade to Huckabee.
Someone doesn't like the nun bathing suit that goes down to the calves.
Not only that, she's absolute. I think she's stronger than Huckabee Sanders was as far as it goes to engaging the press and giving them the finger.
I don't think that's it. I think she's definitely strong, but Sarah was strong too. I think she comes off as less of a bitch about it, which is more potent. Like, they'll both kick your ass up between your ears. Yeah. But I think she's a little bit less. It comes off less bitchy. It's more boss than it is bitchy.
Yeah, well, she also, she can charm somebody with a smile, whereas I don't think Huckabee Sanders could charm anybody.
She had my snake dancing.
Huckabee Sanders did?
No.
You have a weird kink, bro.
I do. I like when they look at your dick and your ball at the same time. Just like the one ball, the one that hangs off the left a little bit. I interacted with someone today that actually believes Pissgate is real. I have like so many questions about how that conversation even started, but I keep asking people on like a daily basis when I interact with somebody new if they know anybody who's had COVID and been died, been alive previously, and because the only time I come across anybody like that is they're literally telling me Trump wants you to shove a UV light bulb up your ass while chugging Lysol. He said those words. I'm like, oh, and you had 30 friends die? I don't think you had 30 friends. You're entirely unlikable. So I'm just wondering how, like, you even get, like, Was this a random person that you ended up talking about Pissgate? Like, were you in the shower section of Sears? Is Sears still a thing? I've got questions.
I know one person, and it's through work, so it's not like I know them, but I know one person that has a confirmed case of the Rona, and then I have 3 other people that have had a suspected case of the Rona.
Well, we all have a friend who had it, but I don't trust that friend's doctor.
Right. Right.
I like Sarah, but she had less zingers. Okay, see, but if that's your, that's what's important to you, is the size of her zinger, then that's all you, bro. The whole reason I even, I actually, what, I don't remember why I wanted to address this in the first place, but I do want to address the, how the government fucking hates you. And we can go back to mostly Janet Reno related things where they actually fucking murdered you or family members.
Uncle Janet the First.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, not only did she do Ruby Ridge
Facebook,
and Waco, everybody's forgotten about Alien Gonzalez.
No, I remember that.
I never forgot about Elion, who's an architect now.
Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, life is good when you're in a communist country and you're a star. They'll treat you exceedingly well.
Oh, yeah, that kid had, as soon as he got sent back, they're like, you're going to be an architect.
Yeah, you're going to be everything that you need to be in life. You are going to succeed. There will be no hardship for you.
Welcome to communism.
Yeah, we're going to take care of you, and you're going to sing the praises of communism.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
I'd like to know how his family in Miami is doing, though. Probably not so hot. I say probably not so hot.
Steven says Sears is still a thing. Amazon just entered into talks with JCPenney, so we'll see where that goes.
That'd be interesting. That would be really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Elon Musk said "fuck you" to California, and they were like, "Yeah, fair enough." So we'll see where that goes.
Goddamn hero.
Mm-hmm. Did you see? He said take the red pill, and one of the Wachowski sisters was like, "Fuck you."
Well, it said that after
Ivanka
Trump, yeah,
taken or whatever.
Which you're still like,
fuck you both. Like, oh, how do you like that being
your
turned
thing
on
that
you?
was so cool is no longer relevant in the way you want it to be. Oh gosh darn it.
What happened to Janet Reno when she tried on the witchblade? It bit off its hand. Oh, okay, I see what you did there. See his hand. Yeah, it's so many things are coming to light about the Obama administration, but I like to shut on the Bush administration a little bit because they did start the Patriot Act, which is just the biggest fuck you to the American people.
In our lifetime, it has been.
Yeah. Our lifetime it was the Department of Education started under Carter and came to fruition under Reagan. But yeah, so you do have that. So we're not just shitting on the Republican or the Democrats here. The biggest first fuck you was Patriot Act. Then we got just a slew of things from the Obama administration that they ignored or covered up because, if anything, the media showed just how complicit it is in this bullshit. Whether it's wiretapping Rick Leventhal on Fox News.
Didn't he jail a couple of journalists?
Yeah, he did. Meanwhile, Trump says they're liars, and it's the worst thing that ever happened in the history of journalism. Like, that's not true. Nixon arrested a couple of journalists. There you go. What about that? Huh? What? But it's astounding the things that happened under the Obama administration that they still claim and brag about lying to our faces about his scandal-free 8 years. Like, it's the first time a president had missing pages from the White House guest book while claiming transparency.
Yeah, Fast and Furious was like straight out of the gate too.
Yeah, Fast and Furious. Yeah, it was like one of the hitting the ground running first things in his 100 days. Let's arm cartels. That'll be funsies. Let's not forget that one of Trump's first scandals was putting kids in cages. That started under the Obama administration.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and weaponizing the IRS.
Lois Lerner, at the IRS. Not funding or not approving 501c3s for conservative political action committees.
Anything with patriot or liberty in the
Freedom.
Was freedom one of them too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no child left behind will leave children behind.
Oh yeah, don't forget the Dear Colleague letter for Title IX.
Yeah. A cookie for every kid will just give elderlies diabetes. That's all that's going to do. Like, whatever they name it, it does the opposite. Obamacare, Obamacareless. Like, that's the whole damn thing, because they get to name these things.
Well, it's like the Patriot Act. It's the least patriotic thing ever to happen. It's not just Obama. It's literally everybody in D.C.
Mm-hmm. And that's what you're seeing. Like, we had a shutdown in 2013? 2011?
Of what?
The government shutdown.
Oh, it shut down for 3 years running. The first 3 years of the Obama administration, it shut down every fucking year.
Yeah, Obama had, I think it was 2013 that was the big one, where he had, he literally had guards. Like, first off, they stopped going to the White House because it was voluntary and they couldn't pay for it, even though it was completely voluntary and no one was getting paid. But they stopped White House tours to hurt American citizens. They sent maintenance people into the national parks to take the handles off of the drinking fountains, which is something you have to pay to do during a budget crisis. Had paid
a skate park.
Yeah, they had security with cordons at the open air monuments, so you couldn't see those, which is literally like petitioning or cordoning off a sidewalk because it was made by the government. It was absolutely everything that was done was to affect and hurt you as a person.
Yep. Meanwhile, everybody still got paid.
In the government, anyway.
Which the whole point of its shutdown is so that it stops expending money. Keep that in mind. The whole idea is that we can't agree on the budget. Therefore, there is no budget. Therefore, you have no money to spend. People should not be getting paid. First and foremost, the House of Representatives, the Senate, and the President.
Which really wouldn't matter to Trump anyway, since he donates his salary. I said celery.
Well, to be fair, celery is shit, so I agree. Donate that shit.
Mm-hmm. Also, while we're on that topic, fuck parsley.
and now...
Fuck parsley.
And now an announcement from the National Apple Institute. Fuck pears.
Quit comparing us to oranges, you dicks. But I was talking with my friend this morning, and I was explaining to her like how shit the government is these days, and I need to get like all my shit in order. Like, I need to make sure my my level 3A body armor is still fitting. Maybe go for that cummerbund expansion if necessary. But she didn't understand why, and I'm like, "Oh, let me tell you about the Obama administration." So what is this the Obama Gate that the kids are talking about these days?
Okay, so the short of it is, it came out that the unmasking of General Flynn, this is mostly around Flynn. It turns out that the FBI was found to, they wanted to close the investigation on General Flynn. And then Peter Strzok said, no, 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 we've got to keep it open. We've got to keep it open. We've got to keep it open. They did so. And at that point was when the FISA courts were involved because they were trying to figure out what was going on. They started wiretapping Flynn as part of that prolonged investigation after they wanted to close it originally because they didn't find anything. And that's when they came across the Logan Act, which nobody has ever been tried or accused under the Logan Act. But
that's about him
talking to the Russian ambassador before the Trump administration took office. After they were elected, after the people were assigned their duties, but before he took over. Okay, so it is absolutely 100% legitimate for the incoming administration staff to start negotiations with foreign entities because they're going to be the ones taking over. They have to defer to the current administration on any action that was going to take place before they take over, and they're supposed to report any information that they glean from those negotiations to the sitting administration if they're pertinent. That's at the discretion of the conversant. Whatever. Anyway, so they recorded the acts based on a FISA warrant for the foreign national who is the U.S. ambassador the Russian ambassador to the USA, because General Flynn was having conversations with him. So then they went back to the FISA court and said, we want to unmask who this person is, who this American person is. They already knew who the American person was, but they have to do the official unmasking so that they can have confirmation of who this person is. And the first request was put in by, I believe, Obama's chief of staff on July 5th, 2017. By the last day or a couple of days before the end of the administration, like January 27th or something like that, I believe. I could be wrong on the dates. I don't have the document in front of me. But the last person to request the unmasking of the person in those FISA recordings is Vice President Joe fucking Biden. So what happened is that when the DOJ and Bill Burr? No. What's Burr's first name? I don't know Burr's first name. Anyway, the Attorney General Barr said the DOJ is going to drop the case against Michael Flynn because there was exonerating evidence that could not be admitted in court because of the judge, but there was not enough evidence to proceed with prosecution knowing that evidence exists. So, once that happened, people started questioning, well, what is that? This is unheard of. He pleaded guilty. Yes, well, it turns out that the FBI had documentation in their documentation that came to light that said, from Peter Strzok, I believe, that says, what is our goal here? Are we going to get him fired? Are we going to make him resign? Are we going to put him in jail? Are we looking for an arrest? All of these are things that the FBI is not supposed to do because their job isn't to determine an outcome. Their job is to do the investigation. They should not have an end goal to an investigation of something like this because their job is just to observe and report, being the mall cops that they are. So when that came out, then people started questioning, well, who asked for the unveiling in the FISA courts? Who asked for the unmasking? The answer was they got the list, and that's where that reporter from CBS put out that document that shows all of the people that requested the unmasking from January 5th all the way through the last person to make the request, Joe Biden. And there was I think 20-something names on that list of Obama officials who were requesting the unmasking. Then it turns out that Sally Yates, not sure what her position was at the time, had a conversation with President Obama himself where he divulged information about that investigation that he had no legitimate reason to know. And she thought that was weird, so she filed a report for that, I believe. So by the time that General Flynn's name was leaked to the Washington Post, which I believe was the day after Joe Biden made his unmasking request, the gig was up. They were obviously railroading Flynn to get goods on Trump, or at least a smear campaign on the incoming administration. So that blew up. And that's basically the core crux of the Obama administration.
I've got a jet for a few minutes. I'll be right back, fellas.
I'm taking a shower.
Is that clear as mud? Did I lose you, Fry? Because we can't hear you if you're talking. So apparently it's just me. Hopefully he will come right back. We're going to have another poorly reviewed books. We'll see if he understood any of that or how much he heard. You back?
I'm back. I heard everything, and I didn't leave until you told me that you didn't hear me.
Okay.
Which, it's really... I had heart palpitations leaving you alone in here. I had flashbacks.
I'm better now. Still not great.
I'm like, oh my god.
But
I
better.
hope Hudson left already. Hope Hudson ran to his shower and he's not muted right now.
Yeah, he's taken care of in the shower, and I've given my spiel. So is that clear as mud?
Yeah, it actually was rather eloquent as opposed to your normal.
My normal
loquaciousness.
nonsense.
Your lugubriousness.
So that's where we're at now. You know, the press is after Bill Barr's blood. I think it's Bill Barr. I gotta look this up. Who the hell is?
Yeah,
the AG?
it's William Burr.
Oh, Burr.
AG William Burr.
Burr, not Barr. Burr.
Bill Barr is a comedian.
Is a comedian, right? Okay, that's why I get them confused. I'm like, Bill Barr. That doesn't sound right.
It's William Burr.
William
B-U-R-R.
Yeah. So,
not to be confused with Aaron Burr.
Right.
Shot a motherfucker.
Aaron Burr. Yeah, I remember the milk commercial. That's how old I am. So last Sunday, and we didn't get a chance to talk about this last week, but last Sunday.
Oh, that in my face. Jesus Christ.
I'm just
okay,
reiterating for the audience who obviously knew we
I had no power.
Last Sunday, Chuck Todd did a segment where he aired a segment of.
Oh, good. I was wondering why he was in the.
Yeah. So
in this title card.
This is where it gets weird. So CBS News, and I'm not sure if it was the morning program like CBS Good Morning or CBS something or other, but anyway, it was a CBS interview of William Burr. And the reporter asked the question, how do you think history is going to look back on this? And William Burr gave the answer, well, as you know, history is written by the winners, and gave a sarcastic chuckle, and then proceeded to answer the question, I think it will look upon us favorably because this is, in fact, upholding the rule of law. He was a little better at explaining it than I was. I'm paraphrasing. Mm-hmm. But Chuck Todd on NBC's Meet the Press put a clip of just the first part of that answer from a different camera angle too, which is weird. So the CBS camera angle was a wide shot of Burr sitting at the table with the reporter on the end of the table and Burr halfway down a fairly large conference table. Social distancing is required. Showed the question and answer in that camera frame, the wide shot. But what Chuck Todd showed, claiming it was from the CBS interview, because it was, but I don't know whose camera it was from, showed a completely different camera angle that was close up to Burr, in his face giving the first part of that answer as you know, history is written by the winners. Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. Then cuts the clip and proceeds to pontificate about how cynical that answer is and what a horrible demon that Bill Burr is. Well,
Chuck Todd, you sleepy-eyed son of a bitch.
Exactly. Couple hours later, people called him on his shit. Hey, you didn't show the whole thing. You didn't show the actual answer.
That's about fucking time.
Yeah, but what Chuck Todd never responded to this, but NBC's Meet the Press Twitter account did, and had to put out not a retraction, because it's still in the transcript. If you go to the show and look at the transcript, the original airing is true to, or the transcript is true to the original airing. So it does not include the correction, the full answer, or any of that. All Meet the Press did was put out one tweet that acknowledged their mistake. And of course, it was a quote unquote mistake or oversight in the editing process.
Of course.
Nothing else has been said about it except by people who are like, what the fuck? You know, just the people complaining about, well, this is obvious. This is exactly like CNN doing that editing where they said, in Milwaukee, when that girl was saying,
go to the suburbs, burn that shit down.
Exactly. We don't want violence here. We don't need violence in our neighborhood. Cut. Go to the suburbs. What? Yeah, there's a bigger story in that answer if you just let the tape roll. But they selectively edit to produce a narrative. And anybody who's paying attention on Twitter and or certain circles, i.e. ours, are going to get that information. But meanwhile, NBC's Meet the Press gets away with, we addressed that in a tweet, but we're not going to change the transcript. We're not going to acknowledge it anywhere. We're not going to issue a retraction. We're not going to do an edit. It's just going to stay the way it was.
Yeah, like Anderson Cooper, his defense of the posting from Don Jr., who showed Anderson Cooper fucking nipple deep in floodwaters when his cameraman's on the bank.
Right.
Like they literally, like, he wasn't saying I'm in the deepest part of the water, but
no,
the
he
camera
did.
pan.
He did say that. He said, I am now going down into the deepest part of this. Those words were uttered by Anderson Cooper in that shot.
I saw it and I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But I did see the camera pan from Anderson to the roadway that was not even underwater.
Right. They literally found a divot or a ditch. He may have walked down into a ditch. And that's being generous. He may have walked down into a ditch. My guess is he walked out a couple of feet, dropped to his knees.
I think so too. Because he wasn't walking around.
Right.
But the point was, cameraman was on dry ground. The cars on the road was clear of water. I'm like, dude, you're in a hole. Like, you are in something specifically designed to hold water and keep it off the road.
Right.
But yeah, in whenever the tsunami hit, was that 2015 or whatever? That's when I absolutely knew CNN was garbage. I was flipping between CNN and Fox News. Soledad O'Brien, Wolf Blitzer, and Anderson Cooper. One was in front of, basically, it looked like it was maybe like an apartment complex that was being constructed out of wood. And when the tsunami hit, it just twisted all of it into a huge lumber pile. Then Anderson Cooper was in front of it was like a delivery service. It had a bunch of white vans, and the water hit and pushed them all up into a big pile. And Wolf was in a similar fucking state of catastrophe. And at one point, they had a satellite phone that they connected to the audio, and had an American that was in Japan call home and tried their best to get him to cry. And Fox News was there, and I don't remember who their guy was, but he was in a parking lot that had people surrounding him. And they could pan to the left and show like damage, but the parking lot itself was clear.
Right.
I was like, fuck you, CNN.
Yeah, they're disaster porn. Disaster porn and fear mongering. That's kind of what they have to do.
CNN starts their show with Good Evening, and then they proceed to show you how it wasn't.
Right. Yeah, they have an audience that likes to get themselves off or worked into a froth over doom, gloom, tragedy, and heartache.
No. The airports are closed. They had an audience.
You know what? Since I'm going on vacation next week, I will have to check out the airports and see if it's still playing. See if CNN is getting their money's worth.
I would love to see like a campaign of people with Post-it notes, putting them onto airport TVs, begging them to change the channel.
I had one of the those universal remotes that you would cycle through frequencies and would turn stuff off. And
Nice.
I used that at the airports when I traveled, I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago. And I would turn off the TVs that were in the in the area I was at. The problem is they've separated the sound and the visuals. So the TVs only show the visuals. The speakers are actually broadcasting the sound. So you can turn off the TVs, but you can't get rid of the broadcast sound.
Well, seeing Anderson Cooper is just as bad as hearing Anderson Cooper. So I think Greta Thunberg, or Greta, or whatever the fuck Matt wants to call her, was absolutely supposed to be part of a panel on COVID-19, but because the backlash happened so early in the advertisement, that it changed to an interview.
Oh, absolutely. No, people were calling it out for what it was the second they found out she was going to be on. Like, why is she even included? What does she have to do with the topic at hand?
Like, okay, so you want to compare this to Macy Gray and her new album release. Greta's not releasing an album. Why is she on your channel while you're doing this COVID thing? Like, it wasn't like the Winchester Town Hall presents Katy fucking Perry or Macy Gray or anything like that. It was...
Well, it's because the climate change fear-mongering industry has now adopted the COVID-19 fear-mongering language. And they now want to flatten that curve, too. You know, the curve that's based on erroneous bad modeling and data.
Nothing is... There's people who died from alcohol poisoning. If anybody watches Beat in the Beta, I don't know if you guys do. I happen to. We all do. And that he had a fucking 0.5, which is ridiculous, no matter how you measure it.
He had some blood in his alcohol system at that point.
Yeah, or any other number of somebody wasn't given their diabetes medication, went into a coma, and died, called it COVID-19. Alzheimer patient that forgot how to swallow, wasn't put on a ventilator because she wasn't tested for COVID, died of drowning. Like, these deaths are not COVID-19 related by any stretch of the imagination, but they're all being counted. If a plane went down today and one person on it had COVID, the entire plane crash would be COVID related.
Yep.
It's freaking absurd. Now, and I don't believe this pandemic thing and Bill Gates being the Antichrist.
Oh God, no.
But I also don't want to hear.
There's overreaction and hyperbole taken as truth, which is a problem.
Yeah. Let's be clear. Bill Gates is an intelligent man. However, he's also a college dropout. If you want to point to him as a success story, absolutely. But I'm more educated than he is. If you just want to go by the numbers. If being a doctor because they got a degree means something, I got a degree. Me smarter than Bill Gates. Him dumb, me smart.
I don't know that I'd go that far, but yeah, he did drop out of college.
Go that far, Dick.
You have more accreditation than Bill Gates does.
I do.
So do I, for that matter.
And that Waffle House coupon, that counts as its own degree. But
I majored in syrup.
I have blood in my syrup circulatory system. I don't want to hear any group that's founding charter revolves around there's too many people on this planet. I'm not taking a vaccine from fucking Bill Nye.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about Bill Nye for a half-hot second. He does have an engineering degree and was nominally an engineer for a year, I believe. There's no report on whether he was a successful engineer or not, but
was it a master's or a bachelor's?
I'm pretty sure it's a bachelor's.
And
he did hold a job in the engineering field. But I can tell you, because I was a fan, quote unquote, of his, when he worked for not the science guy. I never liked that one. But before he was Bill Nye the Science Guy, he was on a local show produced in Seattle, Washington, called Almost Live. And he was a reoccurring character, one of the troupe. It was like a Monty Python-esque, Kids in the Hall sort of improvisational skit-based comedy group. And he was famous for being the superhero Speedwalker. And it is as ridiculous as it sounds. And you can go find those clips on YouTube of Bill Nye as...
It sounds like some Second City bullshit.
Speedwalker. Yeah, it's worse than Second City. But at the time, when I was a late teenager, I liked it. I also liked The State. The State was one of my favorite shows at that time. But, yeah, he was known as that, and he was also one of the high-fiving white guys. Also a reoccurring skit that they did on that show. So, Bill Nye, to me, has never had any sort of authority on anything because the guy is, and will always be, an actor. He is an actor, not anything else.
Well, I'm not looking for Mr. Wizard to MacGyver me a fucking plane trip to space or anything. But I get that Mr. Wizard, Bill Nye,
Beaker, Beekman's
Beaker?
World, Beekman's World, and yeah, Beaker to that end too. The Muppets were doing Dr. Honeydew and Beaker well before.
Yeah, I mean, I understood they all had scripts that they were following, and there was actual people. Josh is going to be delayed forever. His update came through. Use Chrome, Dick. Like, what kind of secrets do you have while talking on a hangout? To the country, both of the people watching. But it's beside the point. I get that it was scripted, but I enjoyed him bringing. I love science. Science is awesome. Science isn't everything. Science leaves far more questions than it gives answers.
Well, not only that, but you can only give the best approximation of an answer at any given time and then repeat the results. If the results don't repeat, it doesn't qualify as science, and there are things that are non-repeatable. That doesn't mean that they're not things. That's the other thing with science that bugs me, is that the averages of scientific research are what gets reported. There are still statistical outliers in that data that are still legitimate results. They just don't conform to the mean. That doesn't mean that they're illegitimate results. It means they just don't conform to what the general most frequent response is, most frequent results are.
Yeah. Nancy Pelosi calling climate change settled science made my teeth crawl. Like, I had a freaking itch in my gums from a statement like that.
There's no such thing as settled science. We're still we're still revising Newton and Einstein, for God's sake.
I was gonna say, gravity isn't settled science, and we haven't floated away yet. But like, let's not forget, like some of the people who we revere as scientific powerhouses, not like just mitochondrial being the powerhouse of the cell, but
Ooh, somebody went to 7th grade.
I did go to 7th grade twice. No, it's this guy I watch called Dr. Mike calls them the energy centers of the cell, and I'm like, no, it's the powerhouses, you fucking Russian. But where was I fucking going with this?
Sorry.
I enjoyed the shit out of that though. Oh no, like Francis Bacon. He's responsible for literally the scientific method. Killed himself. He froze himself to death in an experiment.
Well, and Newton at the very end there kind of lost his mind and was researching alchemy, looking to change base materials into gold. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he never touched a woman.
Yeah. Madame Curie died for her discovery. Like, she literally became radioactive as fuck.
Her husband died before the discovery. She was still alive after the discovery and the publication of her papers and everything. That's why she got famous. But yeah, she did irradiate her. Yeah, I was going to say, she did irradiate the shit out of herself and did die from complications of radiation poisoning.
Yeah. That bitch glue in the dark.
Her poor husband, Albert, got hit by a car. And they were new. He was like one of the first people. He got the first person to die by getting hit by a car.
It's like that story in Oklahoma City where there's only 2 cars, one traffic light, and they get into an accident at the traffic light. Who else had there's just so many of like who we call great scientists. And let's be clear, Google is absolutely manipulating you whenever you do a Google search. However, when you look up American inventor and it's a bunch of black dudes, that's not a manipulation. That's Einstein, though he's German, most of his inventions, American inventions. They're patented in America.
Well, his inventions are, and he holds American patents, but his studies were done when he was in Austria. Like the important shit, the groundbreaking shit he did, Austrian.
Not the Einstein-Rosen bridge.
No, not the Rosen bridge. But yes, the E equals MC squared, not American.
Yeah, true. But
we use the shit out of it.
we overuse it a little bit. But so like Einstein, he's foreign. Tesla also foreign, mostly American patents. But like Edison, who
okay, so yes, Tesla was born in Hungary? I think he was Hungarian. Could be wrong, but either way, naturalized American citizen.
Yeah. But like Edison, born and bred America. But he's not on the list of American inventors because they're just inventors. The reason they come up as American inventors as all black people is because they called them African American inventors. Right. So when you Google that, American and inventor, you're Googling African American inventor. But other than that, the rest of it is all played out bullshit and algorithm based.
Yeah, in order to get the right results, I believe you have to do inventors from the United States of America. And you can't say American, you have to say United States of America.
Yes.
And then you'll get all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Black ones included. Eli Whitney's in there.
Ooh, who doesn't love a good cotton gin?
I didn't know you could make.
Or Frederick Douglass, the inventor of peanut butter. Was that Frederick Douglass or was that Eli Whitney?
I don't know. Frederick Douglass wrote a bunch of books about himself. I know that.
I'm pretty sure he invented peanut butter.
Maybe he did. I don't know.
Big nut fan, that Frederick Douglass. But I can't stand being called anti-science. And they do it just to piss me off.
They do. That's their intent. Their intent is to evoke an emotional response.
Yeah, it's like when they call me racist, but I'm like, yeah, and?
Well, at this point, that's really the only End result. You're racist. Okay, how does that change the argument?
Yeah.
Well,
But,
if you're
yeah.
racist, I can't take anything you say seriously. Why? Because you're racist. That's kind of circular.
Yeah, the video I posted in our group chat was about Black Scout survival, and he said like he was talking about how Bill Gates and the patent 666 and all that stuff, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see that. I can see it. Nope, you're wrong there. No, you're wrong there. You're right there for the wrong reasons. But he made the claim like, well, that's why lawyers use expert testimony. They pay them to get the results. Like, no, not
Kind of.
not technically. Like, you get the expert who says what you want them to say, not an expert who says what you want. Like, you are paying the expert, but the expert's saying,
Right. You pick and choose your expert based on what they're going to say, not pay an
Yes.
expert to say something.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, you're kind of close, but no. But then he talks about these conspiracy theories. They come from illegitimate news sites. I'm like, whoa, with your arguing from authority bullshit fallacy. Like, granted, Weekly World News was not the top pick for authoritative content. But oh man, fuck! I love the Weekly World News. They had an article once. It's like 1999 about a sadomasochist who was in a car accident. He died, and he was revived on the way to the hospital, and he came back to life. And he went to hell. And he explained it in like a 3-page article about him going to hell. And because he's a sadomasochist, he was in like a climate-controlled room that was like moderately temperatured, and he had to watch bland TV. And the demons came in and fed him, like gave him food to eat. It's fucking retarded. Like, just like they were wearing fur coats because they were cold because the temperature was moderate. And I'm like, this thing is fucking ridiculous.
Isn't Weekly World News the one that had Bat Boy?
Oh, Bat Boy, yeah. Bat Boy's love child. Like, yeah. Ugly fucker, but man, did he have a prolific load of children.
I'm back, by the way.
We saw.
Okay.
I wanted good news. But oh,
I
man,
can't help you with that.
You're missing it. We're talking about the Weekly World News as of right now for a second. But yeah, I wouldn't trust them with like a story, even though I remember them. Oh God, when they shut down, I was like, this is like the only newspaper I buy. Like, it's $1.50 and it comes out once a week. God, I fucking love this thing. I was so bummed when it got canceled. Nothing's quite up to
Earth still a thing?
Yeah. Oh, throw this over there. So, did you have any topics, Garrett?
I'm sure y'all talked about Obama already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave the spiel. If
Do you have anything you
ignorant,
wanted to
you
cover?
wouldn't know.
Yeah, I know. Berate me right now.
Did.
No, we're good.
Okay.
Did you have anything you wanted to cover on the Obama topic? You know, it might be a new take or a dumb take, and we can mock you. Either one works for me.
No, not really. It kind of just brought back the nostalgia of back in 2008 whenever he was campaigning, or 2007, whatever. And he would go up on stage and he'd give his little speech, and he was such an articulate speaker. You couldn't help but be enamored by him. And then
God damn, that's such a racist term.
hang on. After he was done, I would think back and go, wait, what the fuck did he say? And then I go back and read what he said, and this motherfucker's off. Something's wrong. This was back before I really understood politics. So
I don't get
I
why
wasn't
anybody
really
thinks
into
he
that.
was an articulate speaker.
Because they just said it. They literally would just say he's an articulate speaker. Like Joe Biden used to say it.
Like,
John McCain used to say it.
literally,
Chuck Schumer said it.
we had Ronald Reagan, and even for what it's worth, we had Bill Clinton. Both of those two were way more articulate than Obama could ever hope to be.
Agreed.
I mean,
My favorite George Bush line.
Shrub.
I'll
wasn't
definitely
very
agree
articulate.
on the Ronald Reagan. I don't know much about Clinton. I don't remember much besides the Monica Lewinsky
Oh, good
incident.
lord, that man
Oh,
could
Reagan
talk.
was smooth. Reagan was smooth as fuck.
Reagan
Yeah.
was something to behold. He really was.
It is still my favorite thing to look up every now and then. I will look up some of his old communist jokes. Oh, the man was great.
Oh yeah, yeah. A Polish dog, a Russian dog, and a German dog are together, and the German dog says, "Fuck, how's that fucking thing go?" Um, I like to bark at trees, and the Polish dog says, "What is trees?" And the Russian dog says, "What is bark?" And it's like, what? But he told this one all the time. It was I recently came back from Russia and I had a great time. The people there are amazing. They're a true stout, hardy group of people. I talked with one family who said they were buying a car, and I asked them how the process went, and they said they went into the car dealership. They picked out the color, they picked out the print, the fabrics, everything, and they said they paid the full price of the car up front because that's how you do it over there. And they said we'll deliver it to you in 10 years. And the family said AM or PM. And the sales guy was like, why does it matter? And she says, well, we have a plumber coming over that day.
Yeah. The other one that he would tell was was it? It wasn't Stalin. Was it? It might have been Stalin. Or no. Who was it that was running it at the time?
Yeltsin.
No, Gorbachev. Gorbachev. That's who it was. Okay, so
Oh yeah.
one day they decided to pass a rule that anybody caught speeding that day was going to get fined. So all the cops are out and they set up their little speeding traps. And that morning, Gorbachev wakes up and tells his driver, "No, you get in the back. I'm driving. We're late." And he did not like to be late. So he's hauling ass going down the road, and he gets pulled over. And the cops pulled him over. One walks up to the window, looks inside, turns back around, and goes back to his partner. Partner says, "Comrade, why you didn't give him a ticket?" He said, "He is too important. I don't know who he is, but Gorbachev was driving him."
Gosh, the good ones. And he's famous for the 9 scariest words in the English language. I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah. I don't know if he ever told this one, but this is one that I heard on Bill Whittle's podcast. So one day Stalin is on a stage in front of a podium giving a speech, and all of a sudden somebody sneezes. So he stops and he asks, "Who sneezed?" Nobody answers. "Comrades, tell me who sneezed." Nobody answers. And so he says, "All right, everybody in the first row, stand up. Shoot them." All of a sudden they walk up and shoot everybody in the first row. He says, "Who sneezed, comrades?" Nobody answers. "All right, second row, stand up. Shoot them. Shoot them all dead." He says again, "Who sneezed, comrades? We will keep doing this all day long." Finally, somebody in the back stands up and says, "It was me, Comrade Stalin." He says, "Oh, God."
you
Glitched
did it block out for you?
on the, yes, he glitched out right at the punchline.
Yeah,
Oh,
you glitched out of the
really?
punchline. Yeah, but we all knew we all knew what the punchline was.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's
Oh, well.
like that. You guys are like last year. Steven was talking with Matt and Blonde, and he was trying to ask them if they knew a Spanish word, and like it glitched out like 6 times only on the word. It was fucking hilarious.
I do remember that.
Yeah, back when I still watched Friend Simulator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reagan just he's a professionally trained actor, so he could deliver things just like nobody else in the political sphere could. And he was funny and he was quick on his feet. And at one point, he was the oldest man ever to run for president. And he addressed that in opening remarks of a debate. He said that age has been made an issue in this. You want to do it, Sean?
Yeah, he was actually talking to George Bush Sr. And it was a debate between the two of them that I believe he paid for in California. And he said, it has become known to me that age is an issue in this race. And I just want to assure everybody that I will not hold my opponent's youth and inexperience against him.
Yeah, I remember that one. What was the other one? Shit, I was just thinking of it. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sure it'll pop up again.
Yeah.
Oh, the other communist joke he had was, we pretend to work and they pretend to pay us. That was short and sweet.
Mm-hmm. He loved the Russian jokes. Anytime somebody had one, he would stop and listen to it.
Well, and Reagan doesn't get enough due for helping Germany get rid of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't even know that they teach the fact that there were two Germanys in the 80s.
Anymore? Yeah, no.
I don't think they even teach it anymore.
Well,
like when I first got online.
That's why anybody who even brings up the subject, I just instantly tell them, look up Bill Whittle's podcast. What's it called? What We Saw, the Cold War. It's phenomenal. It's a 14-part podcast, and I loved it so much after listening to it one a week as they came out. I had to go back and listen to them like
back to back.
Yeah.
Bill, I do love me some Bill Whittle. What was I saying about something about Reagan or something about? I don't know. Getting old. Why did I stop talking? No one else did.
What? Who stopped?
Oh yeah. So I was on Facebook earlier, and this bitch posted talking shit about the barber from Owasso, Michigan. By the way, Owasso is Abenaki for bear. She claimed that he's well off. He's a barber. He's got a nice house. He has several rental properties. Has 8 books out. Has a new book coming out, and doesn't want to lose his business. I'm like, that's a lot of assumptions on your part, bitch. Oh, and then he's a Republican operative, a conservative operative for to fight Gretchen Whitmer, and he's not going to let some bitch tell him what to do. Basically, I was like, you just told me he has a nice house and he has rental properties. Did you tell me any of those were paid off? Does he not have a mortgage on not only his home but several other possible homes? Like his books, are they acts of love that he self-publishes where he takes the profits from one and puts it into the next book, or is he Stephen goddamn King of the haircutting world? Like, he owns a business, so does he own the building that the business is in, or does he have to pay for that business as well? Like, you made a lot of assumptions, bitch, and you don't provide any answers.
Let's say the guy's what, 83?
77.
77. Okay, so he's old. Anyway, that was my point, is that he's well beyond normal retirement age. He's still doing something that he wants to do. He's still spry. And if he owns a house and a couple of rental properties, even if they paid off, we're led to assume that he got there by the grit of his own work. Like he's literally the American dream, and we're now punishing that?
But yeah, well, okay, he has 77, so there's a solid chance his 30-year mortgage has been paid off at least twice. But he also has rental properties, so he does still owe mortgages, and he runs a business, so that still requires rent payments.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't have any expenditures, but like everything she said about him is not negative; it's positive.
Mm-hmm.
He's a self-made man who's been working since he was 18. He owns a house. Good. That's the American dream. He owns some rental properties. Good. So he's got repeating income from that. He continues to cut hair because that was his profession. And he wants to stay active at 77. That's a good thing. He's written a couple of books. Wow. Sounds like you're living the dream, dude.
Like, what are his books on, though? I didn't look it up.
I have no idea. The finer points of cutting hair? Who knows?
Yeah. Barbarism. But yeah, exactly. I'm like, you're just, what the fuck? But he got hit with he lost his business license,
Which was a dick
thing
move.
that he
Total dick move.
Well, I got a bigger dick move. Well, not a bigger dick move, but Lindsey Graham, the Oregon, not the chick from California or the chick in Texas, but the Oregon hairstylist. She has a $14,000 fine for opening, and she's now being investigated by Child Protective Services because of her poor decision making professionally.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. Tell me that's not, because that's another thing I want to talk about, addressing that the government fucking hates you.
Yes, it does.
Literally, the masks you buy from Amazon, half of them say they don't protect you from COVID-19. The other half don't. They just don't say it.
Well, the mask thing is nothing but security theater anyway.
Yeah. Okay. If the masks work, why are you letting people out of prison? If the masks don't work, why are you sending people back to work? Why? None of it makes sense. There's a plexiglass partition between me and the clerk who's wearing a mask. Yet I'm using the same keypad the person before me just used because they're not accepting cash. Like none of it makes any sense. And who's the guy from Barstool Sports? His rant was excellent. We've gone from flattening the curve to waiting for the cure. I won't tolerate it. There's states that have opened up and they're showing excellent progress. And they all happen to be states with Republican governors. California isn't opening up for 3 months. Fucking New York is putting up barricades so you can't enjoy the ocean. The ocean.
Well, they're just worried about shark attacks.
Yeah. The shark attacks resulting in COVID-19 deaths. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's what a time to be alive.
It is unprecedented. And I've been around a while, and I can't remember anything that was quite this egregious.
Fuck, you have. But yeah, we're in a very insane time right now.
Oh, speaking of insane times, we're finally starting to open up over here. I finally got to go back to the gym after 6 weeks of lockdown. Thank fucking God.
See, gyms are one of those things that I find interesting because if there's a place you're going to catch it, swap and sweat with, everybody in a gym seems to be the kind of place you're going to get it. So
but there's almost nobody there. Like there was a quarter of the crowd that there usually is there.
Right, but I mean, still, if of all the places to close, like that made sense to me to close gyms. Like, yeah, you've got a higher infection rate at somewhere like that than you do at a hairdresser, at the barber, at the store. Like of all the places to close, gyms made the most sense. So when everybody's like, "Oh my God, the gyms are finally reopened," yeah, that's the one place I'm actually okay with not being reopened yet because that makes sense to me.
Well, I have to disagree with you, sir, because I feel like crap when I'm not going.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah, are you gonna feel like more crap when you catch the COVID? Because gyms have always spread. Ringworm. Fucking,
given my condition, chances are I'll just be asymptomatic. It is what it is.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's another thing. the statistics come out and like 0 kids have died from COVID-19. So now this new respiratory bullshit connected to COVID-19 is hitting them at an alarming rate of 3 kids. So like,
I haven't even heard about that.
Well, 3 kids have died from respiratory issues, and they're blaming it on COVID-19. But like, it's a like a derivative of COVID-19 because they're testing negative for it, but they're still claiming it.
They can't prove there's any link whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm like, SIDS is a thing. Kids die. Little babies die.
Well, yeah. What age kids are we talking about here?
The foreign kid was 5, and the New York kid was 7.
Okay, so mid kid age.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember what the other kid was, and I don't remember where they were. But yeah, it's like that's atrocious. Like I'm way more okay with the elderly dying than I am the children dying. Like
You heartless
it's sad.
bastard.
It's sad. My grandma is 88, and I love her to death. But
Literally.
she's 88. Yeah, I mean, I'll love her past death, but I'll be upset when she starts voting Democrat. But like my nephew who's 12, that would be a much bigger blow.
Yeah, the lost potential of a young life is a bigger blow than somebody who's already lived a life.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree with that statement, which was agreeing to my statement.
Most people do. The problem is that nobody will actually say it. Because they seem like they're heartless bastards when it comes to the elderly.
Well, yeah, the VG, I guess, of Texas. He's 72, and he's like, "Fucking kill me if it saves my grandchildren." Like fucking Duarte, this shit. You can shoot me in the face if we don't ruin the economy for my grandchildren. But because he said it, and he said it on Hannity, heartless Republicans want the elderly to die. You can shoot him in the face. Am I still here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you're here.
I was just wondering. I think I don't have anything else to bitch about. My favorite thing so far this whole diversionary COVID bullshit was the release of the Air Force unidentified flying objects recordings. like it was the perfect time to release alien tapes.
Yeah, nobody gave a shit.
And no one gave a fuck. Like, granted, the term UFO is from the government. Like, they have unidentified flying objects and naval-based objects and ground-based objects. But it's just been popularized by science fiction.
Right. Well, and there's nothing unusual about having a UFO. Because eventually you could probably parse the data, figure out what it was, and then you've identified it. It is no longer a UFO.
Yeah, for a time being, like if you're in a submarine and you hear a noise, that's a UNO. But the noise will clear up and you'll know what it is. But so in the meantime, that sonar operator every day is coming into contact with UNOs or a flight tower. They're hitting UFOs constantly. And they're like, drone, Cessna,
right?
Like a dueling, and then they find out what it is. So at no point are they like, oh my god, it's a UFO.
Yeah. So I mean,
until it makes a fucking right turn, and then they're gonna shit themselves.
Right. Well, and so they release tapes that showed that they have unidentified flying objects that they cannot identify.
Yeah.
That's literally it. There's really no news there. Everybody who's even remotely interested in the subject, A, has already seen what they released, and B, goes, yeah, okay. And the kooks are
Bill Whittle.
Yeah, the kooks immediately go to aliens, which, okay, I mean, that's a leap, but okay. Everybody else is like, we don't have enough data to know. And it's just going to stay there.
Yeah, Bill Whittle loves aviation. He doesn't have the eyesight to be a pilot, to be a fighter pilot, but he always wanted to be a fighter pilot. So he has to settle that with just he became a pilot. Didn't even cover the UFOs. and he had a show called, like, all of his shows are called after aviation terms. Like he had one show called Afterburner. He had one show called Eject, Eject, Eject. His shows
bought the farm.
no, but his shows are based on terms that reflect that are in flight, and he's a big supporter of the military. And what's his other show? Afterburner, Eject, Eject, Eject. Something to do with fire. I don't remember what it is though. But yeah, so he didn't even cover it. Like it was mentioned on one of the episodes, but yeah, he didn't give it any time at all.
Yeah, there's really nothing. I mean, again, we've already seen this stuff. Anybody who's even remotely interested in it has seen exactly what they released and said, yeah, we don't know what that is. Okay.
Oh, I got a no vote. I got a down vote. Mike's here. Hey, Mike.
You didn't want to cover joggers?
Joggers be crazy.
Joggers
No,
be jogging.
Yeah. I don't have anything of worth to say. Oh, he left. It's shady as shit to me that you can claim that someone is running in cargo pants in Timberlands.
I just think the whole thing is the distractionary tactic to keep everybody talking about something other than the Flynn case and Obamagate and all that other nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
It's working.
Unfortunately, it is.
Let's see what Twitter has. They've got a loading problem. Or I've got a loading problem. China commits $2 billion to fight the pandemic, as they should. Meghan McCain trending. Morbidly obese in politics is trending, so that's a Trump thing. AP bio exam was a doozy.
Yeah, didn't Nancy Pelosi call him fat?
Well, I'm sure Biden did and challenged him to a push-ups debate. Trump admin is rushing deportations of migrant children. Below deck sailing. Okay, didn't know that was a thing. Let's look up morbidly obese. I wouldn't be surprised if Skeletor was calling somebody with meat on their bones fucking fat.
Today is the 40th anniversary of Mount St. Helens exploding.
20 years since Hit Me Baby One More Time came out. Britney Spears, Hit Me Baby One More Time.
It's been 20 years.
20 years.
Damn.
My God.
There's Hillary Clinton and Obama laughing, saying then she said he was morbidly obese. One day I learned to strike deftly as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Until then, I'm only her Padawan. Yeah, it's Nancy Pelosi calling Trump morbidly obese. Nancy Pelosi did not call Trump an insulting name like he does to people. She didn't say he was a fat slob. She used the correct medical term to describe his weight. You know what? Retarded is the correct term for somebody who's slow, and that is no longer considered PC. Moron is a medical term. Idiot is a medical term. It's these are actually ranges of IQ.
When are these people just gonna fucking die already?
Who?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Pelosi, Feinstein, Schumer. Shall I go on?
They got really good health care plans, so probably never.
God damn it. It's not the answer I wanted to hear.
I know. But yeah, I think we're going to have a discussion once Biden hits the Biden-Bama hits the debate stage, and we see just how far gone he is for being an old ass man, and we're going to have a national conversation about the debilitating state of advanced age.
Truth Matter says, remember a time we had a president who wasn't morbidly obese? Oh, and wasn't a criminal?
Reagan?
Clearly.
No, he had the thing with the Nicaraguans, right? Right? Nicaraguans? What were they called?
Contras.
Contras. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
He had that whole shitstorm.
Which was...
Yeah.
I mean,
I
there's
am morbidly obese.
It is just
I am a great big fat motherfucker. Trump is not even thick.
Have you seen the ass on that man?
No.
What do you
Why
think my
are you
wallpaper is?
He and Nicki Minaj could have a twerking contest.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're done here.
I'd say so.
What? Got to end on Trump's rump?
Mm-hmm.
His lovely Ripley rump.
A crump.
All right, posting the Hangout link. See if we get anybody. Oh, sorry to interrupt your thing.
What thing?
Maynard Crow was typing out jogger.
Oh. Whatever. Again, that's all that is a distraction. It's fully not important, and they're no good players.
Yep. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Which is nice.
Are y'all still live?